What's good, Washington fans, man? Big game on Sunday, man. Two and two teams. Two teams have had ups and downs. And can we see if the legend of Taylor Heineke can continue? We need this game. These next four games are pretty huge. They're really big games, but we got to focus on this game. It's a home game. The crowd's got to get into it. It's got to get lit. All that good stuff. The Saints are a good team. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a grinded out game. As always, we'll get to the key matchups. We'll get to the injury report. We got a lot of injuries, as I talked about yesterday. We got a lot of injuries. Some guys that placed on injury reserve. We got a lot of guys out for this game. They did practice today. I'll go over who practiced today, who didn't. Of course, we'll get more of an updated injury report on Friday. Who's going to be out? The Saints, they got a lot of guys out too. I do think this is a game where we're going to be able to move the football through the air. They have a very tough run defense, so it's going to be a tough grinded out game. Jameis Winston, he's a funny guy. The whole little W thing where he's licking his fingers and all that. Of course, you want to make the crab legs jokes and the 30 for 30 and the LASIK eye surgery and whatnot. So this is going to be a good team. This is going to be a tough game. It's going to be a tough test, and it's going to come down to the last second. It's always going to be a dramatic game like it was against the Falcons. There's going to be a dramatic game where you're on the edge of your seat. It can never be an easy win. So like I said, we'll do key matchups. We're injury report key matchups and then keys to victory at the end. So let's get to the injury report here real quick. De'Ami Brown is on the injury report. Antonio Gibson on the injury report with a shin injury. Antonio Gibson, like I said, he was limited in practice today. Cole Holcomb was limited in practice today as well. I think he will play. Cole Holcomb's injury was a shoulder injury in the Falcons game. I think he's going to play. I think Antonio Gibson's going to play. De'Ami is questionable. I don't know about that one. Jonathan Allen was limited in practice today. DeShazier Everett was limited. We need him. I think he needs to play more. He needs to play a lot on Sunday, in my opinion. I think we need to switch something up with the safeties. We need to get some other guys. Jeremy Reeves needs to be elevated as well. We need to make some changes. Matt Ioannidis was limited. Full practicing was Jaden McKissick. James Smith-Williams had a toe injury. He was a full participant. Good news here with Ben St. Juste with concussion. He was a full participant today in practice. De'Ami Brown did not practice. Curtis Samuel with a groin injury, he did not practice today. Brandon Sheriff, of course, Cam Sims did not practice. So we might be short with wide receivers. We don't know if Cam Sims is going to play. We don't know if De'Ami is going to play. I do believe that Curtis is going to play. I think it's just a cautionary thing with Curtis. Let him sit and then let him run a little bit on the side field and then just let him play in the games because we're going to need. He always plays well against the Saints. When he was with the Panthers, he had some really solid games against the Saints, and I think he's going to be an X factor for the Washington football team on Sunday. So on their side, they don't have they have a lot of guys out. Of course, Michael Thomas is on injury reserve. Marcus Davenport. They got a lot of guys. One guy is suspended. Let me see how you pronounce this guy's name. But one guy is suspended right now on the defensive side. David Onyemata, he's suspended. Quan Alexander, the linebacker, is really good linebacker. He's on injury reserve. Ken Crawley on injury reserve. Brian Poole on injury reserve. Chase Hansen on injury reserve. They just got a lot of injuries. Traquan Smith, the wide receiver, on injury reserve. Even their kicker, Will Lutz, is on injury reserve. Taron Armstead, the tackle for them, did not practice. They got a lot of guys. Marshawn Lattimore with a hand injury. He's a full participant. He's going to play. And Eric McCoy most likely will not be playing their center. So Cesar Ruiz is going to be their starting center. So they got a lot of guys that are out right now. So let's get to the key matchups. Things that I want to attack. Of course, Terry McLaurin versus Marcus Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore is going to be a tough matchup, but I do think Terry's going to get the better of him. I don't see anybody in the NFL right now that can check Terry McLaurin. I do think he's a number one wide receiver. Washington fans, we all know this, but the national media is starting to learn about this. This guy is tied for first in contested catches, and I loved the play by Taylor Heineke, the legend of Taylor Heineke, Bud Light, just throwing it up in the air, the you only live once type throw. I loved it. I'm in the minority. I'm probably like the 10% of people that like that throw, or probably 5% of everybody that liked everybody that had an opinion on the throw. I thought it was a good throw. Mark Bullock on Twitter, who's a beat reporter, he did the film breakdown and thought it was a good pass. So I think, especially you got to know your personnel. If it's Terry McLaurin, just throw the ball up. Terry's there somewhere. He's going to catch the football 9 times out of 10. So you got to know your personnel. That's why I like the pass, because of who he was throwing the ball to. That's why I like the pass. We got Terry McLaurin versus Marshawn Lattimore. I think Alvin Kamara just against our whole defense. That matchup right there. We're going to have to stop this guy. Taysom Hill against our linebackers, against our defense. Jameis Winston against our secondary. That's a huge matchup. And then also the interior. Look at Daron Payne. Check out Jonathan Allen against their backup center, Cesar Ruiz, who usually plays guard, but he's playing center for them now because of so many injuries. He's been inconsistent. He's been iffy playing at that center spot. So I think that's a position that we should take advantage of, getting interior pressure. The Saints did struggle against the Panthers with interior pressure. Jameis Winston was rushed and hurried a lot, and they ended up getting blown out against the Panthers. And then also the Giants, they were able to get a little bit of a pass rush against the Saints as well in that game. So that's what we have to take advantage of right there. Of course, and then Curtis Samuel against their CB2, Paulson Adebo. If he's going to be matching up against Curtis Samuel, then we got to take advantage of it. If Paulson Adebo is guarding Terry McLaurin, we got to target that matchup as well. Paulson Adebo was getting cooked by the Giants last game. John Ross, Kenny Galladay, all those guys were able to get yards on Paulson Adebo. He is a rookie corner, so he's still learning the game, and he's definitely going to get picked on. That's a matchup we have to look at for. So let's do the tail of the tape here. Let's go over the stats and the numbers here. So the Saints are ranked 26th in pass yards allowed. They've given up 283.2 yards per game. So that's their Achilles heel. That is their weakness right now. Sam Darnold had 300 yards passing on. Daniel Jones had 402 yards passing on the Saints last week. Like I said, John Ross had a big catch. Kenny Galladay. Saquon Barkley had some big catches had a huge catch against the Saints on Marshawn Lattimore. That's why I think J.D. McKissic is going to be an X factor in this game as well. They are second in rush yards allowed per game in 66. That's tough right there. They're really good at stop and run. They are number 2 in defense in DVOA per Football Outsiders as well. So they got a legit defense, and they have a good third down defense as well. They only have 6 sacks on the year, though. They rank 30th in sacks. Cameron Jordan has 0 sacks. We're talking about Chase Young having 0 sacks. Cameron Jordan is a stud, elite pass rusher, and he has 0 sacks so far. So he hasn't lived up to the hype either. Same thing, Chase Young has got to step up. Cameron Jordan has not lived up to the hype. So I'm hoping that he does not have a breakout game this game. I looked up a number. Charles Leno has the highest pass block grade so far, according to Pro Football Focus, with 85.5. Sam Cosmi has had a great year by far. We have the best run blocking team in the NFL, according to Next Gen Stats. So offensive line, keep doing what you're doing. Taylor Heinicke is a part of that too. The way he's able to move and be mobile and avoid the rush and avoid sacks, he's doing a great job with that as well. So let's look at their offense. Jameis Winston. I don't have to go over our defensive stats. We're in the bottom 5 at every third down defense. We're just awful. Run defense, we're not bad. We're not great. Pass defense is just ridiculously bad. We're just a bad defensive team right now. We don't have a lot of sacks either. We don't have 7 sacks on the year. We're like 28th in sacks. So we're just not doing a good job. We already know our defensive problems. Offensively, the Saints right now, what they're doing with Jameis, they're using him as a game manager. He has 10 touchdowns and 2 picks right now. He is a game manager. Sean Payton is kind of like he doesn't trust Jameis right now. He's not really giving him an opportunity to throw the ball a lot. He threw the ball downfield in the Giants game. But other than that, they're 31st in passing yards per game with 144. So they really want to run the football. They're 22nd in yards per attempt with 6.9. So he's dinking and dunking right now. He's more of a game manager. I think Jameis, he just doesn't want to throw an interception like he did in Tampa, the 30 for 30 interceptions. And Sean Payton really doesn't want to put the game in his hands. He really just wants to run the football and just let Jameis be a game manager and let the defense eat, which they did against Mac Jones and they did against the Packers. But they weren't able to do that against Sam Darnold, and they weren't able to do that against Daniel Jones. They have the 28th ranked offense. Also, yards pass attempts per game, they are 32nd at 22.5. So they don't throw the ball a lot. They really don't want to throw the ball. They're 7th in rush yards per game, 132.8 yards a game rushing. So Alvin Kamara's a dog. Taysom Hill's a dog. They both can run the heck out of the football. So we got to stop the run. We have to stop the run. We got to get a pass rush. Got to stop the run. So my keys to victory in this game for me is, first, we got to start fast. We cannot come out slow. And I did want to point out this as well. Taylor Heinicke has the most passing touchdowns in franchise history through week 4 since Brad Johnson's 9 touchdowns in 1999. So that's a good stat for Taylor Heinicke. Kind of looks bad on the Washington football team. That just shows you how good Taylor has been. Now, there's some bad plays that he makes. He will throw some questionable, you only live once type of football throws. And they got dropped against the Falcons. This week, the Saints, they will catch those interceptions. They're not going to Malcolm Jenkins in the backfield, Marcus Williams. They have a solid secondary. So this is a team that's not going to drop interceptions like the Falcons. So Taylor has to be smart with the football, cannot be late and hang guys out to dry, getting guys injured like Antonio Gibson and De'Ami Brown. He's got to be smart with the football. Start fast. We've been terrible defensively. We've been awful defensively. We cannot let can we please help Taylor Heineke out and not be down 15-0, 10-0, 20-0, start on the game, 21-0. Start fast. Let's get a stop. Offensively, let's start fast. Let's run the ball, smash mouth, set up the play action for Taylor Heineke. Let's score on the first drive. I don't think we've scored on the first drive to start the season at all through the first 4 games. Third down defense. We're atrocious defensively. We have to get some stops on third down. And that's an easy one. Way easier said than done. Too many 3rd and 15s, 3rd and 20s. We cannot let their wide receivers run down the field wide open in the middle of the field. They don't have a number 1 wide receiver right now. They got Marquez Callaway. They got Ty Montgomery. They got Chris Hogan. They got Deontay Harris, who's really fast. They got some speedsters on the team. They don't have any Kenny Stills. They don't have a number 1 wide receiver right now because Michael Thomas is out. But they got some guys that definitely can blow by you and get a first down and get a touchdown, honestly. Number 3 for me, feed Terry McLaurin. Target him, I want to see 15, 14 targets again. Get him the football. Get Curtis Samuel the football. Get him involved. 3rd, I already said establish the run. 4th is stop the run. We cannot let Alvin Kamara have a big game like Cordarrelle Patterson. I'm a little concerned that he might have a Cordarrelle Patterson game. He did not get a target last week against the Giants, and that hasn't happened in a long time for Alvin Kamara. So I got a bad feeling he might have a Cordarrelle Patterson. If he has a Cordarrelle Patterson type game where he catches 2 tubs like he did a couple years ago when we had Jay Gruden, we had that big lead in New Orleans where Alvin Kamara just went crazy on us, then we're going to lose. Taysom Hill, we cannot let him beat us running the football. When he's in there, be prepared for him to run the football. They did try to throw a pass with Taysom Hill last week. He threw an interception to the Giants. So I'd rather have Taysom Hill throw the football rather than run the football. J.D. McKissic, man. Get the ball to J.D. McKissic. I like the matchup against our linebackers. The tight ends got to get involved too. Logan Thomas being out. Ricky Seals-Jones has to step up. Sammy Reyes, I don't know if he's going to get any playing time. Ron did say that he would be active, but we'll see if he even gets snaps. John Bates is going to be huge. I like the signing of Jace Sternberger, the guy from the Packers. I want to see him get some playing time. I don't know if he's going to play immediately this week, but I like the way he catches the football and runs after the catch. He's going to be wearing number 88. Reminds me of Hal Hinchins a little bit. He's fast. He was an All-American at Texas A&M, so watch out for Jace Sternberger if he does play. But Ricky Seals-Jones is going to be important in this game. We're going to need him to catch the football. He had 2 drops against the Falcons, but he had a hell of a catch against the Giants. We need that Ricky Seals-Jones to step up on Sunday and play like that. Limit big plays. Communicate on defense. Bobby McCain, you had a lot of chirping. You had a lot of talking with the media. You was getting real spicy. You had a lot to say. You cannot have these miscommunications. Same thing with Will Jackson. William Jackson, Kendall Fuller, all these guys Landon Collins, they got to be on the same page. They got to play together. They got to play as one. They got to play as a team. No more letting these Darius Slayton run past them. Cordarrelle Patterson run past them. Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, guys just running freely past them. There was miscommunication on Cordarrelle Patterson on that wide open touchdown. It just can't happen. And a key for me is on Jack Del Rio. If somebody's not playing well, please bench them. Please put DeShazer Everett in. Please activate Jeremy Reeves. Please put guys in. If guys are not playing well, please bench them. Don't play them just because of a salary and a name right now. We got to get some other guys in there. I want to see some fresh legs. Somebody else. Jamin Davis has to step up. This is his opportunity. Cole Holcomb played well last week. He's got to step up. Khalil Hudson. Guys like that are not starters. I want to see him come in and make an impact. David Mayo's probably going to have to play. Jordan Kushnewski. Guys like that are going to have to play. We did not sign a linebacker in free agency this week. It is what it is. Ron trusts his guys. So, hey, they got to step up. Pass rush. How many times can I say this? Pass rush every week. We got to get a rush. Got to get the quarterback. Chase Young. If you think it's a rough in the passer, just wrap him up. Take him down. Don't shove him down. Don't go with an elbow with a forearm, WWE style, nothing like that. And I don't think he did that at all. I thought it was a BS call. That was a terrible rough and pass call. But just bring the man down. I know it's almost like patty cake or whatever. But you gotta just corral him and bring him down. I know it's tough right now for Chase Young. And do something different. Do a different pass rush move. Do something different. Mix it up. Mix it up on these guys. Montez Sweat, we need a big game from him. Man, Ioannidis, the whole D-line, Tim Settle. They got to get some pass rush in the interior. Jack Del Rio's got to call some stunts, twists, overload blitzes. The Saints have struggled against overload blitzes and stunts and twists. So we got to do that and mix it up this game. So Jaden McKissic's got to be a big factor. Like I said, Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin, all those guys, they got to step up and play well. Special teams is going to be huge. DeAndre Carter, I'm going to need him to step up. And it is going to rain on Sunday. It is going to rain. I got to confirm that, but it is going to rain on Sunday. Dustin Hopkins, really hope it does not come to a field goal. They did sign Cody Parkey, double doink, quarterback from the Bears. So, honestly, I got a feeling they're going to miss some kicks. I think the Saints are going to miss at least 1 or 2 field goals. Dustin Hopkins has to make all his extra points. If it's inside, this is going to be a Ron too. Every key, I'll always say the same thing with Ron Rivera. Decision making, feel of the same thing with Scott Turner. Decision making, feel of the game. Whether you're going to go for it on fourth down, position battles, field positioning, having a feel, just situational awareness for Ron Rivera. Sometimes it's lacking. Like I said, going for two against the Giants, not calling timeouts in the beginning of the season, just letting the clock run. Clock management at the end of the first half. Those things are going to be important in this game. It's going to be super. Coaching against Sean Payton, a legendary coach. You know, who's gonna outcoach one another, especially the defensive side too with Jack Del Rio. But Ron's gonna have to make some big boy decisions, man. I'm telling you, there's gonna be some times where he's gonna have to go for it. It's gonna be 4th and 1 on our 45, on our own 45-yard line, or on their 48-yard line, and we're definitely not gonna kick a field goal with Dustin Hopkins if we're on their 48-yard line. But we're having a solid drive, but they just got a good stop on third down because the Saints have a good third down defense. You're just gonna have to trust your offense and go for it. And Scott Turner's got to be smart. I don't want to see a shotgun 4th and 1. And we're running the ball with J.D. McKissick up the middle, and it gets stopped easily. That's too predictable. That's a terrible play call. That's what he did against the Falcons. There's going to be a lot of shotgun in this game. That's what worked for Daniel Jones. That's what worked for Sam Darnold. A lot of quick passes, getting the ball out quick. That's what Taylor Heinicke's going to have to do. He's going to have to be mobile and use his legs. He's going to have to run around a little bit too and evade the rush. He's going to have to be smart with it. Like I said, they will catch the interceptions if he does throw it into bad coverage, or a lot of triple coverage. They're not going to play around and drop these passes, but Taylor Heinicke has to be smart, use his legs, and I want him to be aware of where the first down line is. That's going to be important as well. Be aware of where the first down line is. He's sliding and diving a lot right before the first down, so I want to see him be better with that. But I have a lot of faith in Taylor Heinicke. He's playing well right now. He's rallying the troops. The troops are behind him. I can give the whole spiel about the story, him sleeping in, his sister-in-law. We already know that story. You've heard it a million times. The guy has to step up. I'm a Heinicke believer. I think the guy can ball. Do I know if he's the long-term answer? Is yet to be seen, but I do want him to finish out the season. I want him to finish out the season. I've seen enough. I don't want to see Fitz come back in, if he does come back healthy, in 4 or 5 weeks. But to focus on this game, I do see Heinicke having a solid game. I got him having 2 touchdowns, probably 1 interception, about 298 yards passing. That's what I got for Taylor Heinicke, and about 40 yards rushing. He's going to have to use his legs. The crowd should be getting into it. The crowd should be getting hyped. The crowd should be getting behind him. So he plays a lot better at home too. He's a home player. In the few games that he's played at home, he's played well. The crowd's gonna get hyped. They're gonna be yelling Heinicke. You already see it right now. So I do have us winning this game. I have us barely winning this game 26-23. Sounds weird trusting in Dustin Hopkins, but I do have him making a field goal to give us the lead to win the game. I hate to say it. I don't feel strongly saying it, but I got him redeeming himself. And I got us winning 26-23. I think Jameis is I got a bad feeling Jameis is going to have a solid game. Not a great game, but a solid game. He's going to throw about 2 picks. We're actually going to force a turnover. I got William Jackson getting a pick, finally. And then I got, who else do I have getting a pick? I'm going to say Ben St. Jude comes back and gets an interception on Jameis. I'm going to go as far as say that. We win 26-23. Chase Young gets his first sack, finally. We win 26-23. Antonio Gibson has a solid game, about 80 yards rushing. J.D. McKissick has a couple good passes. Terry does his thing. Curtis does his thing. And I got us winning this game. So, all right, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know your keys to victory, predictions, all that good stuff. All right, you guys. Head of football team. Peace.